Have you ever felt it? That ice-cold fear right before you try something new. That single voice that whispers, "Don't. You'll look stupid. Everyone will be watching." This is the perfection trap. We live in a world addicted to competence, terrified of being the awkward beginner. We become so good at not failing that we've stopped trying. We tell ourselves we're too busy, but the truth is, we're just scared. We would rather do nothing than do something badly. But what if that's the biggest lie we tell ourselves? What if terrible isn't the opposite of good, but the price of admission? The necessary, messy, human first step. What if the only way to unlock your potential is to have the courage to fail? This is a story of Ben, a brilliant engineer who was perfectly competent and completely stuck. His story about a messy pottery studio is not about becoming an expert. It's about finding the joy in getting your hands dirty. Stay, because this might just be the permission slip you've been waiting for. This is Ben. Ben is a senior software engineer in Brisbane. His entire world is built on logic, on precision, on code that either works or it doesn't. 0 or 1. Right or wrong. In his world, there is no room for messy. And Ben was very, very good at his job. He was successful, competent, and completely in control. And Ben was secretly, profoundly bored. He was suffocating in his own competence. Every day, on his walk home from the train station, he passed a small building tucked into an alley, a pottery studio. It was the complete opposite of his life. It was chaotic, loud, smeared with paint, and, through the window, he could see people laughing. They were covered in mud. Their creations were lumpy, lopsided, and utterly imperfect. And a strange, quiet part of him was jealous. For 6 months, a woke it passed. For 6 months. That voice, in his head, the one that got him promoted, said, "Don't. It's inefficient. You'll be useless at it. You're an engineer, not an artiste. You'll look like an idiot." But one Tuesday, the boredom finally became stronger than the fear. He pushed the door open and signed up for a single-try night. The moment he sat down, his anxiety spiked. He was the new guy, stiff and clean in a room full of relaxed people in stained aprons. It was a disaster, worse than he could have imagined. He tried to control the clay, to force it into submission like a line of code. The clay fought back. It wobbled. It folded. He tried to pull the walls up, and the entire thing collapsed into a wet, gray pancake. He tried again. A piece flew off and hit him in the face. He wasn't just bad. He was spectacularly bad. He felt his face burn with a hot, familiar shame. He looked around. No one was watching him, but he felt like everyone was. He started reaching for a towel, ready to quit, walk out, and never come back. "Wow," a voice said. He looked up. It was Chloe, the studio owner, wiping her hands on an apron caked with dry clay. She was smiling. I'm sorry," Ben mumbled, feeling like a 5-year-old. "I'm just terrible at this." Chloe laughed. It wasn't a mean laugh. It was a real warm laugh that filled the room. "Oh, good," she said. "You're supposed to be terrible." Ben was completely confused. She beckoned him over to a high, dusty shelf in the corner. It was filled with the ugliest, most broken, cracked, and ridiculous-looking pots he had ever seen. "This," she said, pointing to a lumpy, green mess, "is my success shelf." "This looks like a shelf of failures," Ben said. "That's where you're wrong," Chloe replied, picking up a piece that looked like a sick wombat. "This was my first. It's hideous. I love it." This one collapsed. This one cracked in the kill. She turned to Ben, her eyes kind but direct. "As adults, we are terrified of this shelf. We're so afraid of looking foolish that we stick to the tiny, safe boxers we're already good at. We forget that terrible isn't the opposite of good. Terrible is the price of admission. It's the first step. The joy isn't in making the perfect vase spin. The joy is in the mess. The joy is in the go." Ben looked from the ugly, cracked pot in Chloe's hand, back to his own clay-covered hands. In that moment, the engineer who craved perfection saw something new. He didn't see a failure. He saw the process. The moral of Ben's story isn't about pottery. It's about permission. That guitar in your corner. That language app you downloaded, those are your pottery studios. And for months, maybe years, you've been walking past, terrified of looking stupid. The perfection trap is the single biggest lie stealing your potential. It convinces you that if you can't be brilliant at it immediately, you shouldn't do it at all. But bad is not the end result. Bad is the price of admission. It's the necessary, joyful, human first step to okay. And okay is the step before good. We call it having a go for a reason. It doesn't mean succeeding. It means having the courage to try. So here's your challenge. What is the one thing you've always wanted to do, but were too afraid to be bad at? Go and do it this week. Go and be terrible at it. Go and look like a dill. Go and get your hands dirty. Give yourself permission to be a beginner again. Because the prize isn't being perfect. The prize is the simple, messy, beautiful joy of doing. Share this story with someone who needs the courage to start. And in the comments, let us know what is the one thing you will finally have a go at.